Here at Helmuth Ford, we are a small-town dealership with no hassle and no pressure.
Hi, this is Stacy from Shetler Insurance Services. Come see me on the east side of the square in Sigourney for all your insurance needs.
Jody's Journeys is going to the Noah's Ark and Creation Museum in Petersburg, Kentucky, May 27th through the 30th. Join Jody Griner with Jody's Journeys and create memories for a lifetime with this incredible experience. Seats are extremely limited. Call Jody now to reserve your seat. Experience Bible history at the life-size Noah's Ark. Contact Jody at 641-660-6417. Email her or go to Jody's Journeys on Facebook for more information. The Keokuk County Expo in Sigourney presents the 2025 Spring Nationals this Friday and Saturday at the Keokuk County Expo in Sigourney. Admission is free for anyone to come and watch. The Expo Kitchen is open all day, both days for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Start time is at 8 a.m. both days. As always, coolers are welcome at the Keokuk County Expo. Tractors are coming in from all over the country for this pull. The tractor pull is all indoors at the Livestock Barn. The show will go on rain or shine. Once again, the Keokuk County Expo in Sigourney presents the 2025 Spring Nationals this Friday and Saturday at the Expo.
Welcome to this edition of Morgan You Asked For. Take two. We're trying this again. It should be better. I restarted my computer. It took a long time to restart, about 10 minutes or so. So it's about 9:30 now. So hopefully this works better and I'm not cutting in and out every time. Sometimes it's Trev on the road or everything. I'm, usually at home here. Internet's pretty good. MCG is pretty quality stuff with their internet. I've not really had any complaints, but I do think it was the computer needed restarted. I don't actually think it was the internet. But good to be back here. Sounds way better just through our headsets and everything. So lots to talk about. Again, thanks for everybody for listening live on YouTube, live on my Facebook page, and I believe for the first time we are live on my Twitter as well. Not 100% sure on this. This will be the first time for that. I believe I got that set up today. So wherever you're joining us, if you're able to leave a comment, which I think is YouTube for sure, maybe Twitter, but I don't think so, or X, I guess is what it's called now. Facebook, I don't think we can see them. Trev and I both go back kind of after the show and answer stuff. Our friend Taylor keeps bringing up WWE stuff. So maybe I just need to have him on and we'll just have a WWE episode. Before we kind of got cut off, I want to start with Trev's weekend in California. I guess I shouldn't say that for sure. I assume it was in California. Watching future Hawkeye, McDonald's All-American, Matty Deal. Trev, go through that, why you were there, what made you go see her, and then your interaction with her, because we did see pictures and stuff as well.
Yeah, so after the Iowa-Michigan State game, I was scrolling on Instagram, looking at some of the highlights of the game, and then her stat line popped up that the playoffs were going on. So I knew she was from California. That's about all I knew, so just got to see them where they were playing. I had to figure out what high school she was even at and all that. And then I saw that they were playing at Etiwanda High School, and it was the Elite Eight round, as they were calling it. So looked up tickets. It was like $11 to get there, and the high school was about 12 minutes from where I was staying. So I didn't have anything else to do that night. Decided to go to the game, wore the Hawkeye shirt, and then right when I walked in, her mom actually came up and started talking to me, asking where I was from in Iowa. And I had forgotten that their son actually plays basketball at Grinnell. I think he's a sophomore this year. So we got to talking about Grinnell. My brother has worked there for a number of years now. They've been to Grinnell plenty of times, Iowa City. So that's kind of how it all got started. And then going into the game.
Sorry to interrupt, but that is the connection because Lisa Bluter's son is at Grinnell as well, correct? So that is another connection there that helps get her to Iowa.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's exactly how it got the first time it got started. Obviously, she's a high recruit, so everybody, all the colleges are looking at her. So, but yeah, you're right. That is another connection there with Lisa Bluter's son playing there, and then her brother playing as well. And then going into the game, I had no idea what to expect. At the time, I didn't even realize this. This was a number 7 and number 8 ranked teams in the nation. So not just California, but in the entire country. So the first Thing that I noticed is obviously there's a lot of players on the court that are going to go play at colleges. I have no idea where, but you could tell the talent level was really high. If you didn't know anything about it, which was basically me, I just knew she was number 3. It's about all I knew. You could tell just by watching her that if you just went in the gym and had to ask who's the most likely to go play big time college basketball, I think anybody could clearly point her out. And I think she finished with right around 30 points, I think 6 rebounds and maybe 5 assists. So she was impressive. The next thing I noticed was the speed and physicality of the game. It was way quicker than anything I'd ever seen. The first couple minutes, I'm just sitting there kind of laughing to myself because I wasn't sure if my eyes were playing tricks on me. I haven't been to a high school game in a long time. So after the game, I saw that Jody Wynn, Addie's coach, she coached at the University of Washington for a number of years, played at USC during her college days, and she said this was one of the most physical and fast-paced games she's ever been a part of. So, again, my eyes weren't playing tricks on me. To put it in perspective, I graduated in 2008. If you took our class of girls and the 3 or 4 ahead of us and the 3 or 4 below us, and you combine the best starting 5, whoever that would have been, I'd put the over-under on points per quarter scored at 0.5. I don't even know if our all-star 5 of those 6, 7, 8 years could even get the ball past half court. I mean, the speed was insane. Mater Day lost. Addie Day lost by 10. She missed her first few shots in the game. They got down by 10 points in the first half, and then they came back a little bit in the second, made it a 2-point game at half, and then Etiwanda came out on an 8-0 run in the second. And then from there on out, it was constantly an 8, 10, 12-point game, and they couldn't quite claw back. They'd get it to 12, to 10, to 8. They'd get a steal and then have a chance to get it to 6 or 5 points, and they just couldn't get the shot to fall. So it was a fast-paced game. Like I said, it felt like it was 5-on-6 or 5-on-7. I mean, the speed and the defense by the other team was like something I'd never seen before. And then the last thing that stuck out was Etiwanda got hit with 2 technicals in the game. And you know me, I'm pretty easy going on stuff. I'm not big on like shaking hands after. I thought they should have had 5 technicals. And I don't know what happens if you get that many in a high school game, but there was a lot of chirping going on, pushing, shoving. Etiwanda had some girls getting in the face of the Mater Day players, pointing at them, turning around, walking at the refs, pointing in their face, refs backing down from the players. At one point, we had the benches clear, people running onto the court. The announcer,
a little different than Iowa high school basketball, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. The announcer had to say, "Parents, please do not come on the court. Cops are everywhere." They finally got everybody separated, and then go ahead.
Question for you: is the other high school a private high school as well? Because Mater Day is the other one a public school or a private school? Do you know?
I'm not sure. They called this the open division, so I'm not sure exactly how all that works. I didn't really have time to talk to people and figure all that out. I didn't know
if you could figure that. So I mean, a lot of times you can figure it out. Like they have a prayer before the game. Like you go to PC and you've done that. You go to PC, you have a prayer before the game, stuff like that. That you don't have at Oskaloosa schools or whatever.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing any prayer at this one. So, and then with about 2 minutes left in the game, one of the Mater Day's players fouled out, just a common foul, no big deal. She's walking off the court with her head down, and 2 of the Etiwanda players are pointing at her that are on the court, walking toward her, doing the hand motion right beside the ref. The ref's within arm's distance of these 2 players, and one of them yells, "Get the blank off the floor." Nothing. No tech, no nothing. So the refs had no control over the game. Like I said, if you or Zach were reffing that, I think there would have been easily 5 technicals called. So I don't know if that's the norm out there. Big time high school basketball in California. Maybe that's just an every game type event. Maybe it was an outlier, but toward the end of the game there, like I said, when the bench was cleared in that second half, I'm just sitting there thinking like, this is how viral videos start.
We're gonna get Trevor on the internet in some random California game. What the heck is Trevor doing?
Have somebody run by and punch me in the face or something. I don't know. I was there by myself, so I'm like, I'm not moving or anything. But it's the speed, the physicality, and like I said, the chirping back and forth it's different than what we're used to in Iowa, way different. So that was pretty eye-opening. But again, the skill level, it was different. I'm used to, like I said, watching high school basketball in Iowa. The girls that I graduated with, helped Corey Sheely coach for a couple years. This was on a different level.
Yeah, I could only imagine. And even the best players in Iowa, I have not watched high level. I mean, obviously you watch the state tournament and stuff, but you get to that high level, it is different. But again, without all the backstory and insight, you just can't make an educated guess if that's every game or just this game, or not usually between these two teams, but this one just kind of got out of hand, or you just can't make the guess. So you just don't know.
Yeah, and tough to say, but no, her parents were really nice. Like I said, they came up and talked to me right away. They seemed like normal folks. Gave me a T-shirt and a cowbell and some other stuff for coming to the game. So it was pretty cool. Like I said, I think she finished with 29 or 30 points, about 6 rebounds, 5 assists. They lost by 10, but yeah, she's definitely, I think, going to play right away. Obviously, this next coming season at Iowa. So it was cool to see, and just a different level of speed and intensity, that's for sure.
All right, let's transition into the current Hawkeyes. Friday night was their last game of the regular season conference tournament before they get into the NCAA tournament next week. Overall, pretty good tournament for them. They won 2 games, correct? They beat Wisconsin, and then they beat Michigan State, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And then they lost in a very good game against Ohio State, who Ohio State's pretty good now. Ohio State, the next night got ran out of the gym, which was that's always a little bit disheartening when the team beats you and then doesn't even really show up the next day. But some of that had to do with Iowa and the Ohio State game being really close, really physical, all the way down essentially to the last few possessions there.
Yeah, for the Ohio State game, there's really not much I was too upset about, and nothing in my mind's changed about Iowa. I still think if they play well, they can get to the Sweet 16. We'll talk about their potential matchups here in a second, but Kylie Feuerbach had a wide open 3 there with about 30 seconds left. I was fine with her taking it. If she makes that, we go up 4, and then right as the foul in the free throw game, you take your odds, or you take your chances there up 4 in that situation. So I like the shot. We get the ball back, I think, with about 7 seconds left. The only complaint I really had is I would like to see Ava Hayden in the game. I think she was 11 of 14 in the 3 tournaments, or the 3 tournament games up to that point. She was the hottest player as far as shooting goes for Iowa. And when a player's on a hot streak like that, you just got to ride them. So I would have liked to have seen her in the game, but they ran a play to Sydney, didn't work. That's fine. It happens. I did like with 0.7 left, though, that we at least got a shot off.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
That's Stolke had a good shot. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for. She got a pretty clean look. It was just a little bit off, but I mean, with 0.7 left, if you can just get the ball in the air toward the rim, you're pretty happy. So, yeah, wanted to win the game. I'd like to think that Iowa would have put up a better fight against UCLA than Ohio State did, but Iowa didn't earn the right to find that out. But again, I still have no doubts that they can get to a Sweet 16, and this is kind of talking about next year too, but I wouldn't mind seeing Ava Hayden start in the first game of March Madness. Her and Stolke, obviously Lucy and Sydney, and then I don't care if you start McCabe or Kylie, take your pick on that. But I would go in with Ava Hayden starting. She's on fire right now. You gotta ride that hot streak, like I said, while it's still going. And I think you can catch your opponent off guard a little bit doing that.
And that's the one. McCabe had 2 open threes, not at the real end of the game, but probably about 4 or 5 minutes left. Kind of back-to-back opportunities to get the lead, either more or to take the lead. I can't remember exactly, but there was 2 good looks that they needed her to hit at least one of them. You're not going to hit every one, but if you want to get to the Sweet 16, she's going to have to hit some shots. That's what she's there for. That's what she's getting paid to do. I mean, in literally terms, is to knock down 3-pointers, and she needs to do that.
Yeah, I think she was 0 for 6, so that typically you give her 6 shots, she's going to at least make 1 or 2. So, yeah, that goes with the tournament for any team. I mean, you can go in on a good winning streak into March Madness, and if you have a bad night shooting, you're on home. Same thing. If you go in kind of on a bad streak, but you have a good night shooting, you can beat just about anybody. So, other than kind of the 1 and 2 seeds, the 1 and 2 seeds can typically get away early with a bad game and still win just because of their talent level. But no, Iowa, nothing really changed for me. And I just looked a little bit ago. ESPN had him at a number 6 seed, which is what we kind of figured. Mm-hmm. They would have to, if it goes chalk, they would have to play Duke to get to the Sweet 16. That's going to be a tough game. And then this particular bracket, again, if it goes chalk, would have TCU versus Iowa in the Sweet 16. I think it was. So Haley Van Lith, I
Hey,
think
third time in 3 years, right?
yes, that Iowa's played Haley Van
LSU,
Lith. Yep. Mhm.
Louisville, and then now TCU. Yeah, I think I did hear that if it goes the way it could, be 3 years in a row. And she was really good. And she was Big 12 Player of the Year, and TCU won the conference. And TCU went from last year, kind of transitioned maybe a little bit into the Big 12 tournament with Iowa State, but TCU last year was open practice or open tryouts for players. And now this year they won the Big 12, got Haley Van Lith. Just that's how fast money and you can change things in college sports today. It's so